We are so glad you all are here. Last night we had a beautiful event at St. Charles Community College. I know a lot of you were there. And tonight we will have a special musical evening. Last night we were able to celebrate the amazing occasion of the bicentenary of the birth of the Bab. He was born in 1819 in Persia, and he was the forerunner of Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah was born in 1817 in Persia, and that is what we are here to celebrate tonight, is his birthday. These are twin holy days back, marking the significance of this time of revelation that required two luminaries. And you'll notice around the room we have twin luminaries here and on the refreshments table in honor of our twin luminaries, the Bab and Baha'u'llah. So let's first hear a little information about Baha'u'llah and his teachings, and then we'll open for this wonderful celebration.
Who is Baha'u'llah? In 1817, Mirza Hossein Ali, later given the title Baha'u'llah, was born in Tehran, Persia. As a young man, Baha'u'llah became known throughout his country as the father of the poor for his extensive philanthropic work to alleviate hunger and suffering. Raised in the Islamic faith, Baha'u'llah subsequently became a member of the Baha'i faith, the revolutionary new religion sweeping across that nation, which promised the advent of a messenger from God who would unite the world's peoples, nations, and religions. Imprisoned and impoverished for those beliefs, Baha'u'llah, his family, and followers suffered through a series of subsequent banishments, repeatedly exiled by the Persian and Ottoman governments from Tehran to Baghdad, then to Constantinople, next to Adrianople, and finally to Akka, a prison colony in Palestine, now Israel. Baha'u'llah spent the last 40 years of his life, from 1852 to 1892, in prison or under house arrest. While enduring years of torture, imprisonment, and privation, Baha'u'llah gradually revealed the mystical teachings and spiritual principles that form the tenets of the Baha'i faith. Those teachings include the oneness of humanity, the essential unity of all religions, and the love of God for the entire creation. Baha'u'llah also proclaimed the equality of men and women, the agreement of science and religion, and a core Baha'i concept called progressive revelation, which links all of the great faiths throughout humanity's history as a chain of continuous guidance from God. Baha'is view Baha'u'llah as the promised Lord of hosts of the Jews, the reincarnation of Krishna, and the 10th avatar to the Hindus. The 5th Buddha, named Maitreyi, the Buddha of universal fellowship, to the Buddhists, the return of Christ in the glory of the Father, to the Christians, the return of the Imam Hussein to the Shia Muslims, the descent of the Spirit of God to the Sunnis. Baha'u'llah suffered tremendously for bringing the world a new, progressive, peaceful belief system. Nonetheless, these precious teachings from God have endured. Now his faith has been embraced by millions from every corner of the globe, and Baha'u'llah's teachings continue to compel Baha'is everywhere to work for unity and peace. Baha'is believe that the declaration of Baha'u'llah marks a new age, the renewal of religion, and the revelation of a divine cycle destined to spread peace and unity around the globe. Baha'is see the appearance of Baha'u'llah as the return of the spiritual springtime, revivifying the souls and establishing a new faith. a new reality, and a new spiritual oneness among all humanity. As the world now faces its most pressing challenges yet, we acclaim Baha'u'llah and the Bab, born 200 years ago, as the ones whose teachings will usher in that long promised time when all humanity will live side by side in peace and unity.
Hear me, ye mortal birds. In the rose garden of changeless splendor, a flower hath begun to bloom, compared to which every other flower is but a thorn. And before the brightness of whose glory the very essence of beauty must pale and wither. Arise, therefore, and with the whole enthusiasm of your hearts, with all the eagerness of your souls, the full fervor of your will, and the concentrated efforts of your entire being, strive to attain the paradise of His presence, and endeavor to inhale the fragrance of the incorruptible flower, to breathe the sweet savors of holiness, and to obtain a portion of this perfume of celestial glory. Whoso followeth this counsel will break his chains asunder, will taste the abandonment of enraptured love, will attain unto his heart's desire, and will surrender his soul into the hands of his beloved. Bursting through his cage, he will, even as the bird of the Spirit, wing his flight to his holy and everlasting nest. Baha'u'llah.
I'm 88 years old.
You look like you're 60.
There you go.
88 years old. I visited House of Ba. There was an orange tree, and there was a well which we put fake like that, and the water will come up, and then we emptied and did go to house. There was a small pond, small. Over there they call it hose. So every Friday I would go and I have a water up and fill up the hose, and then I will come next week. That was a house of Ba. I also visit House of Baha'u'llah in Tehran. I never forget. Very gorgeous house on the style of that age. And I did some work there, but I couldn't figure it out what I did. But I do remember for years and years, I would go to house of Baha'u'llah in Tehran, and I worked there. So I just want to let you know that I'm still living, 88 years old, and I have a privilege to directly be in House of Ba and Baha'u'llah. House of Ba had a two-story, and there was a, I don't know, pillow or something that he prayed there. And that was my great joy to be there and touch that.
He is the most holy, the most great. This is the month whereon was born he who beareth the most great name, whose appearance hath caused the limbs of humankind to quake, and the dust of whose footsteps the concourse on high, and the dwellers of the cities of names have sought for a blessing. Whereupon they rendered praise unto God and cried out in joy and exultation. By God, this is the month through which all other months have been illumined. The month wherein he who is the hidden secret and the well-guarded treasure hath been made manifest, and hath called aloud amidst all humankind. All dominion belongeth to this newborn child, through whom the face of creation hath been wreathed in smiles. And the trees have swayed, and the oceans have surged, and the mountains have taken flight, and paradise hath lifted its voice, and the rock hath cried out, and all things have exclaimed, O concourse of creation, hasten ye towards the dawning place of the countenance of your Lord, the merciful, the compassionate. This is the month wherein paradise itself was decked forth with the splendors of the countenance of its Lord, the all-merciful, and the heavenly nightingale warbled its melodies upon the divine lote tree, and the hearts of the favored ones were filled with rapture. But alas, the people for the most part are heedless. Blessed be the ones who hath recognized him and apprehended that which was promised in the books of God, the Almighty, the All-Praised. And woe betide him that hath turned aside from the one upon whom the concourse on high have fixed their gaze, him who hath confounded every wayward misbeliever. When once thou hast received this tablet, intone it in the sweetest of melodies, and say, Praise be to God, O my most merciful Lord, for remembering me in this tablet, whereby the fragrance of the garment of thy knowledge was diffused, and the oceans of thy grace were made to surge. I bear witness that thou art potent to do as thou pleasest. No God is there but thee, the Almighty, the All-Knowing, the All-Wise. Baha'u'llah.
The St. Louis and St. Charles Baha'i communities, numbering about 350 members, enjoy an abundance of talented individuals and talented musicians. We are delighted that many of them are here to participate in our program this evening, and you will be too. We will hear from performers sharing all types of music, from a choral piece to a performance on a 6-string ukulele to the gospel. At this time, I would like to remind us of a prayer from Baha'u'llah, who says, That which the people possess, and the treasures of the earth, and that which the rulers and kings own, are not equal in this day to the singing of his praises. Let's begin with some of that praise. I would like to first invite Wallace, Tony, and Jerry. Are you guys up for being first? Excellent! And they will be followed by the Baha'i Gospel Choir.
Come on, all you glory boys, and set your banners high. The pillars of the light are shining from the Persian sky. The people are waiting to hear the author's fame. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Come on, all you ladies, and let love adorn your face. For now it has been written that you take your rightful place. A bird with only one wing surely will be rain. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. all you children of the kingdom, raise your voice. God in all His mercy has given men a choice. Hearts of desert people surely will be lame. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Baha'u'llah, Baha'u'llah. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Baha'u'llah, Baha'u'llah. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Come on, all you children of the kingdom, raise your voice. For God in all His mercy has given men a choice. All the ones are able surely will see rain. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Come on, all you people who are endowed with gentle souls. You shall all inherit the earth the way the story goes. And I will be your traveler, gently as a flame. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Baha'u'llah, Baha'u'llah. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Baha'u'llah, Baha'u'llah. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Baha'u'llah, Baha'u'llah. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Baha'u'llah, Baha'u'llah. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Help us all proclaim the greatest name. Do it again.
So to go with that theme, we're going to sing a song called "The Greatest Name." We do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real.
Okay. So yes. Okay. So
There is power in the name of Baha'u'llah. The greatest name, the greatest name, the greatest name. There is power in the name of Baha'u'llah. The greatest name, the greatest name, the greatest name. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The greatest name. There is healing in the name of Baha'u'llah. The greatest name, the greatest name, the greatest name. There is healing in the name of Baha'u'llah. The greatest name, the greatest name, the greatest name. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The greatest name. There is love in the name voices in the name of Baha'u'llah. The greatest name, the greatest name, the greatest name. We lift our voices in the name of Baha'u'llah. The greatest name, the greatest name, the greatest name. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. You guys can sing with us. Allahu Akbar.
Anyway, it's a very beautiful song that is based on the words of Abdul Baha. At the gate of the garden, some stand and look within, but do not care to enter. Others step inside, beholding the beauty, but never penetrate far. Still others encircle this garden, inhaling the fragrance of the flowers, having enjoyed their full beauty, pass out again by the same gate. There are always some who enter, and when they behold, they remain for life. They remain for life to tend the garden. Still others encircle this garden, inhaling the fragrance of the flowers, having enjoyed their full beauty, pass out again by the same gate. There are always some who enter, and when they behold, they remain for life. They remain for life to tend the garden.
While we let our next presenter set up, Mr. Justin Sabelski, he will be performing for us this evening an original composition, A Call to Remembrance.
In every age and generation, promises revealed, call to every nation, covenant unsealed, the pain and degradation, hatred we must feel. fractured world can heal. Remember Him, the beloved, the abiding. Remember Him, the beloved, the sufficing, the knowing. Oh, the abiding one. Spirit is forgotten, hearts have been concealed. Even of our virtues fade away. The further we are buried, we will rise above the dust. To love we live again. Remember Him, the beloved, the sufficing. Remember Him, the beloved, the abiding, the knowing. Oh, the abiding one. Remember Him, the beloved, the sufficing. Remember Him, the knowing, the abiding, knowing. Oh, the abiding one. Call on Him, the protector, the providing. Remember Him, lover, the sufficing, knowing. Oh, the abiding one. Remember Him.
I would like to welcome Dave and everyone to the stage.
It's real simple, just 7 words. One is in Arabic or Persian, whichever. So. God is the glory of glories. God is the glory of glories. God is the glory of glories. God is the glory of glories.
have wonderful voices.
Thank
Great
you.
job, ladies and gentlemen. In those words, Allahu Akbar, Baha'is greet one another. We say farewell to one another. We let each other know that we love each other. Allahu Akbar. I would like to see if Wallace Pryor would like to grace us with another rendition of these beautiful words. Tonight he's going to be playing on a very unique instrument. Does anyone know what it's called? A harmonium. Need a moment to set that up.
I made a piece of music with the, because we're supposed to say the greatest name Allahu Akbar 95 times, and I made a piece of music out of it with the 95. I'm not quite sure we're going to make it through the 95 times, but it's not exactly a song, it's more of a chant. So if you want to kind of go like this, or if you just want to, the scale's a little bit weird, but if you want to just chant on like one note like this or this or this, that would be fine.
Allahu Akbar.
Celebration will be by Alex Beasley. And what instrument are you playing on guitar today? Six-string ukulele.
Alright, so I'm going to be performing a song in Kurdish. I really enjoy mystical poetry. This poem is about spiritual intoxication, so I wanted to read you the translation first so you can have in mind what I'm actually singing. Oh friends, I am drunk. I'm drunk from eternity's wine. The friend's kindness came and took my hands firmly. The flame of love's fire burst out of my skin. I'm void, and now I'm filled with the friend's existence.
Thank you, Alex, for sharing that beautiful music with us. It was so wonderful. Well, Baha'is are forbidden from partaking in alcohol. The quotes are full of lots of allegories to the idea of unsealing the choice wine of God's message. And so that was a beautiful rendition of that. Thank you. At this time, we would like to welcome John to the stage if he would like to share something with us.
We're gonna have fun.
Okay.
Is forever to remember me as loving you. Ishq Allah, Ishq Allah, Ishq all I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you. ای طالب ملکوت الطاف عرضت پروردگار امیدوار باش و از مصائب شدید این جهان نومید مگر. الحمدلله خدای مهربان داری که طبیب هر بیمار است و غمخوار هر مبتلا. پناه یتیمان است و معین بیکسان و بی نهایت مهربان. اگر بدانی که قلب عبدالبها چقدر مهربان است، البته از شدت فرح و سرور پروازهای ما و البها علیه
والله ای بی نیاز بندگان و کنیزان را بنواز و آرزوی جمیع را شایان برای آن ساز به اوج موهبت پرواز ده و با طیور حدیقه الطاف همراز و دمساز نما قوتی دیگر بخش و حالتی خوشتر عطا فرما چشم از خطا بپوش و عزت و برکت در این جهان و آن جهان عطا فرما راحت و آسایشی و به نسایی و وسایای خویش آرایش و از آزمایش برهان بخششت جهانگیر است و الطافت مجیر و دستگیر هر مستجیر عدم را موهبت وجود بخشیدی و سرگشتگان را ظل ممدود رساندی و تشنگان را به ماه مرود وارد نمودی کرمت عمیم است و فضل وجودت عظیم عنایتت آفتاب است و مشقات و مشکلات خلق ظلمات پرتوی بی انداز و جمعی یاران و امای رحمان را راحت ساز تویی مقتدر و عزیز و توانا و تویی دارنده و رهاننده و بیننده و مهربان
Thank you, John, for leading us in that magical moment. And thank you, Shadman and Mimi, for those precious chants. We are nearly to the end of our musical portion of the evening. But I would like to welcome next to the stage a duet. Another original composition in honor of these twin luminaries, these beacons of light and hope for this age, the twin luminaries, composed by Lindsay LaMarche and performed by Lindsay and her daughter, Kim.
The world is waiting for two luminaries sent from God. We have been promised they will come. And in the time when this prophecy is fulfilled, the earth will be transformed. In this day of days, The Bab, the gate, was but the seed preparing the way for him whom God shall make manifest. When the star of the Bab has set, the son of Baha will rise and illuminate the whole world. In this day of days, this King of days, this day of God Himself, in this day of days, this King of days, of which all prophecy foretells. Justice and truth will encompass the world. Hate will disappear. War will give place to peace. Mankind will live as one without fear, without fear. In this day when prophecy was fulfilled, and the Bab and Baha'u'llah did appear. In this day of days, this King of days, this day of God Himself, in this day of days, this King of days, when the Bab and Baha'u'llah, the Bab and Baha'u'llah, when the Bab and Baha'u'llah did appear.
It broke my heart that I had written it when I could sing and now I can't. So I appreciate it.
Oh, wow.
I do want to bring to your attention, we talked about the prophecies being fulfilled this evening. We talked about these twin luminaries who bring with them a message of light and hope and peace. And we know that one of those promises is the unification, not just of a community, not just of a country, but of the whole earth. And that is what this quilt represents. It is the Light of Unity quilt. It is an emissary for race amity in our communities, in our families, in our homes, and with all those we wish to meet across the globe. This idea was spearheaded, championed, wrangled by the fearless and artistic Miss Lisa Joel.
Glory be to thee, O Lord my God. Make manifest the rivers of thy sovereign might, that the waters of thy unity may flow through the inmost realities of all things, in such wise that the banner of thine unfailing guidance may be raised aloft in the kingdom of thy command, and the stars of thy divine splendor may shine brightly in the heaven of thy majesty. Potent art thou to do what pleaseth thee. Thou verily art the help in peril, the self-subsisting. Baha'u'llah.
That was fun. We'd like to say a few thank yous here as we close. Again, thank you to Lisa. Thank Thank you to our sponsoring local spiritual assembly, the Baha'is of St. Charles County. Thank you to the Twin Holy Days Committee.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you to our MC, who is so gracious. And Deborah, who put up our literature display. Nancy, who provided the refreshments and arranged we actually get to have some now. This has been such a pleasure and such a joy, and it's been wonderful because you've been here. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you to our talented musicians.